Welcome back. Well, MoldTek Packaging has inaugurated a new unit in Tamil Nadu to cater to demand coming in from Aditya Birla Group's paint division. The capacity is likely to be completed over the next 6 months and will be done at a cost of around 20 crore rupees. To understand more about this and the other capacity expansions as well, we are joined by the Chairman and Managing Director of the company, Mr. Laxman J Rao. However, Mr. Rao, good morning and thanks so much for joining in. Well, the last updated capacity that we have is around 47,300 approximately tons. Could you tell us, post this capacity expansion, what does your capacity go to? If you could tell us the total number. And out of this total capacity, how much of it will be dedicated to Grasim's paint division?
Yeah. Actually, we have inaugurated 3 plants in the last 1 week. On 3rd, we inaugurated the plant at Panipat, which is also for ABG and Aditya Birla Group. And the second plant we inaugurated was at Cheyyar, near Chennai. That's again for ABG. And also our pharma packaging division at Sultanpur, Hyderabad. All these 3 plants put together involved in investment about 130 crores in the phase 1. And all these 3 plants get into production, commercial production in the next few weeks. Coming to the capacities, the Panipat plant will have 2,000 tons of paint containers manufacturing capacity and about 1,000 tons of food and FMCG. These capacities will be built over the next 6 months' time. And similarly at Cheyyar, it will be 2,000 tons per annum for ABG and about 500 to 1,000 tons for food and FMCG, mainly for our square pack containers. And one more project that has to come up in the next 6 months is at Mahad. We have just been allocated land by Maharashtra Industrial Development Corporation there. And probably in 6 to 9 months, that plant also will go into commercial production for ABG. That's predominantly for ABG. All these 4 plants put together, in this current financial year, they will be adding up to 8 to 9,000, maybe around 10,000 tons of capacity over the period of next financial year.
So from around 47,500, your capacity will go roughly, say, by the end of FY25, it will go to around 57,000 tons. Are we getting that correct?
Yes.
And out of this 57,000 tons, around 5,000 to 6,000 tons will be towards, ABG?
Yeah, around 5,000 tons of capacity is for ABG.
All right. What would your revenue potential of this incremental capacity be? Because 60 to 70% of this incremental capacity is directed towards paints, which will obviously have lower EBITDA per unit. If you could give us your sense of the kind of money that you are investing versus the kind of return that you are expecting in terms of revenue and operational profits from these expansions?
Yeah. In ABG, we have very good understanding of our pricing because these plants are exclusively meant for them. So that will cover our current levels of EBITDA. And the pharma packaging, which we are starting at Sultanpur, with initial capacity of about 1,500 tons, will certainly be at a much higher EBITDA margins, somewhere close to 150 rupees per kg, as against our 37, 38 per kg currently, our average EBITDA. So I still feel, though the pharma packaging is, as a percentage-wise, is still less than 5% of our overall capacity, the contribution margins being much higher will sustain our EBITDA margins over the next couple of years.
Okay, let's get a couple of numbers then out of the way, sir. From your pharma division, an absolute number, what could it look like in 2025, 2026, if you could give us a number? And also ABG, since you're going to be having dedicated, facilities towards them, how do you see this number scaling up? Either you could give us in volumes or even in sales rupees crore number. So both these two, pharma and ABG group, how do they contribute?
See, pharma, our capacity, if it runs at full 1,500 tons, which is the initial capacity, it will contribute to close to around 55 to 60 crores in rupee revenue. That's almost at a 350 rupees per kg pricing. 300 to 350 is possible. However, this is only phase 1 of pharma. As we grow and establish clients where we penetrating with 4 varieties of products. We hope that the penetration will be faster and we'll be able to expand capacities in the next coming years rapidly. So initially the investment of about 35 crores we are now facing in pharma will yield a turnover of close to 55 crores at its peak. But I don't expect that to happen in the year one. In the year one, I'll be happy if we achieve at least 50 to 60% capacity utilization. But year two, I'm sure it will be fully utilized and further capacities will be added going forward. Because pharma has a very huge potential.
Right.
The market size for the regulated and domestic market is more than 5 to 6,000 crores per annum.
Got it.
So
in the first year, so Mr. Rao, in the first year, you should do around 25 to 30 crores approximately, 25 crores approximately.
Yes,
Pharma.
25 to 30 crores is our internal target.
Yeah. And from ABG, that's a Grasim Paints division, how do those revenues scale up, 25, 26?
Yeah, in 24, 25, they have indicated, as per their indication, the volume lifting from all these two plants at least, taking the third plant later in the year, their indication was about 3,000 to 3,500 tons. Even if they touch 3,000 tons, it will be a sale of about 50 crores in the year one. And going forward, it's expected to grow. So initial year, I expect 40 to 50 crore sales adding up from ABG from these two main plants. Third plant at Bahad is smaller, and that will start only towards the end of the calendar year 24.
All right. So that's about ABG and that's about pharma itself. If you could give us a sense of, the here and the now, how have volumes picked up in the third quarter? Because through you, we also get a sense of how the industry itself is performing. What kind of volume growth do you anticipate in the paints business in the third quarter, sir?
See, maybe it is too early to discuss about third quarter because we have not yet announced our results. But in general, third quarter, we have fared better than the first two quarters that I can mention.
Okay, the reason I think Mangalam is asking, because you had indicated in the first half of the year, the demand coming out of paints was a little subdued. Is it better in the second half of the year so far?
Yeah, it is better.
Okay, so that's good news. What about the blended EBITDA per kg? How does it scale up?
Yeah.
You'll be getting contribution coming in from the value-added pharma division as well. So how does it scale up for FY25, FY26?
Yeah, it is now currently hanging around 37.5 in this year so far. And going forward, it will improve because of two reasons. One is higher capacity utilization. Second is not only pharma, but also food and FMCG. We are starting operations at Panipat starting from March this year, that is 24. And hence, next financial year, we may see the contributions coming from Panipat food and FMCG sales also. So with these two major EBITDA contributors, we are aiming to come back to 40 plus level in the year 25 or 24-25, and should be better than that in 25-26 because pharma sales will further improve in the second financial year.
All right, and by then, what would your sales mix look like? Currently, about 69% comes in from paints. The other couple comes in from pharma and food and food and FMCG.
No. Currently, paint contributes only 50%, but all paints put together, including lubricants, yes, contribute close to 70%. I think that will start slowing down in 2 years' time because this year, again, ABG numbers will be added. So it may not come down below 70% paint sales because of the growth in ABG numbers. But going forward, pharma will be enhancing its numbers and food and FMCG in North will contribute. So from a 70%, probably in next 3 years, we can see it dipping towards 60% paints and 40% from pharma and food.
And no other clients that you are adding from the paints business, right?
No. We are only working with the top 4 companies in paint industry, and ABG will be the 5th.
Got it. Thanks a lot, Mr. Rao, for joining in and giving us all of those details. By the way, as we speak, the markets have moved to the low point of the day, but we'll wrap up on this edition of Chartbusters. You stay with us. Trading Hour takes all the action ahead.